Hey YouTube, my name is Anthony Sullivan, and thanks for checking out my channel. What you see here is a quick speed painting of Spock from the Star Trek movies, the new ones. Hopefully you guys like what I'm doing with these voiceovers. If you don't, that's fine. Feel free to tell me in the comments below. If you do like it, click like or subscribe. That'd be awesome. I'm going to try out some of these voiceovers to just give me an opportunity to express my thoughts on my process and art and maybe other things that aren't even related. But let's just see where this goes, and if it's something that turns out that you folks like, then I'll keep doing them. I'm recording this video with Bandicam, a free version of it. It's seems to be a pretty good piece of software. It's doing the job that it's set out to do. This free version has some limitations. It will only record 10-minute videos at a time, but seems to have no limitation on how many 10-minute videos you can record, so there's that. And then obviously, as you can see at the top, the Bandicam logo watermark is on the video. That is also required on the free version, but can be removed if you pay for the paid version. I think I'll probably buy the paid version if I don't have any problems with this software. It seems to be working well. I don't mind advertising for Bandicam, but if I'm going to put up a bunch of these, I want them to look as nice and as sharp and as professional as possible. I'm drawing this in Photoshop CS4. I don't own CS5 or CS6. Really not super happy with Photoshop or Adobe's new payment model. I really like the idea of a subscription model to gain access to their software. I think it's a great idea, but I don't like the idea, the system as I understand it now, where you have to subscribe to the entire suite. There doesn't seem to be, and I should probably look into this. I could be wrong even as I say this, but I don't think that there's a way to just get Photoshop, which is really the only thing I use out of their suite, or have ever used. I've toyed with Illustrator here and there, but I'm not really not very good with vector art or anything like that, and so Photoshop's kind of my comfort zone. Drawing this on a Wacom Cintiq 12WX. It's a smaller version and an older version of Wacom Cintiq line. I really love this device. It's a fantastic drawing tool. I've had it for a couple years now and just been real happy with it. This movie is being produced with Pinnacle Studio 16, which is pretty good software for producing videos. It's not it's nothing like some of the higher end stuff, but it's certainly adequate for putting together simple YouTube videos and things like this. So that's enough talk about the technology of how I'm doing this video. Let me talk a little bit about the art. I'm drawing this from reference. I have a picture of Spock up on a different monitor, and I'm using that for reference. I don't know what you guys have heard, what you've been told by your personal mentors, but in the absence of life drawing opportunities, drawing from photographs is a fantastic way to improve. You will be able to accomplish the same things and accomplish them just as well as somebody drawing from life if you stay focused. Drawing from life is optimal. Don't get me wrong, but it's the sort of thing that not everyone has access to. If you don't live in a large town or near an artistic cultural hub where you might be able to find classes like that, you're going to struggle. So yeah, definitely draw from reference. Learn to be able to draw what you see rather than what you think you see. When we look around at the world around us, we tend to like fill in the details with what we think we see, and this actually works to your advantage as an artist, because it allows you to expect your viewer, your audience, to to do the same. So you can leave certain areas of your image, non-focal areas, a little bit rougher and a little looser, and it serves to allow their mind to kind of put the rest of the scene together, and it also allows you to put additional detail into areas that you want to draw the eye to. But the weakness of it is that when we are looking at something that we're trying to draw, if we're not careful, we let our mind assume things about what we're seeing that aren't necessarily factual and not necessarily true. So it's very important to learn to actually draw what you're seeing rather than what you think you're seeing. And it may sound silly and strange, but if you've ever sat down and tried to draw something, and then when you're done, even though you feel like you've drawn exactly what you see, what you've drawn looks nothing like, or has some significant differences from what you actually when compared visually between the two, of what you see and what you've drawn, that difference can be accounted for by you simply not drawing what you saw, but rather drawing what you think you see. And it's a common thing, and it's really hard for new artists to get their head around. But once you do, you can make some significant jumps in being able to draw. And that's another area where drawing from life is going to help you move along faster than drawing from imagery. But if you stay focused, I think you can still learn those skills from photographs. As you can see, I'm pretty far into the image already. I've done all the loose line work, and now I'm working on building in some value. I'll be honest, this image is pretty basic and pretty simple, and even when it's done, you'll see that I didn't really do anything with the background or color. It's a monochrome image, working with just black and white and grays. But as you can see, I've built in some value, and now I'm working on some of the highlights. The likeness didn't turn out as great as I'd hoped, which kind of accounts back to what I was saying earlier of drawing what you see versus what you think you see. And I don't know if I can account it to that, or if I can simply account it to the fact that I was rushed and distracted, because this was the first video I've recorded in a while. But all in all, I was not unhappy with the results. It does look like Spock. It may not look exactly like Zachary Quinto, who it was drawn from reference of, but it's a pretty obvious rendition of Spock, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I'm continuing to build in value. All right, now I've zoomed in, and now I'm working a little bit on the eye detail. This particular image of Zachary as Spock has some pretty heavy shadowing right around the eye, and so it's hard for me to really see the detail of what's going on in that shadow in the photograph, which is fine. You can reproduce that, that muddiness, if you will. But I wanted to get a little bit more detail. I don't know that I accomplished that, but that was the goal. But at any rate, as you can see, I'm moving along on this. A little bit about my my process. This is actually one of the simplest images I've done in terms of layers in Photoshop. I typically work with, well, it varies. So like I'll always do a layer for my line art, regardless of how loose or tight I do the line art. I just do one layer. I'll do a sketch layer sometimes, but I typically, especially for a painting like this, I'll kind of build those lines into the painting. So I really only need one layer for that, which is actually something to talk about or to point out to folks who are still learning. I think personally that those loose sketch lines in something like this can really build a lot of life into your image, give it character. you can work without those lines, but I think those loose gesture drawing lines can really add to your image more than you might think that they may detract from it in terms of quality or sharpness or whatever. But so in addition to a line layer, I'll work with usually split the two layers of value, at least the base layers of value, one for shadow, one for highlights, and then a kind of a base layer in between that's basically just the flats, if you will, of whatever colors and whatnot I'm using. So at any rate, that's pretty much how I work. And that's for this sort of thing. I do a lot of comic work too, and it works entirely differently. And hopefully, I'll get to do a video for one of those soon. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll take some time to click the like button and subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any tips or ideas about how I can improve these videos. I'd be happy to hear them. So this is again Anthony Sullivan, and thanks for stopping by.